Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back. Hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day. Sometimes it's good to watch players achieving things, reaching certain levels of achievement that you will never reach. And I guarantee, statistically speaking, that none of you that watch this will ever achieve the results that you will see today. 2 games, 2 different kinds of achievements, and you will probably never, with certainty, let's just say, okay, it can't be 100%, but 99.9999999% of you will never achieve what you will witness in these 2 games. Okay, that's what I'm telling you. And now let's watch. Yeah, he got 203 damage so far. So far, you know, it's just he's got it into a position and he's shooting Muppets that have no idea how to play the game. All right, so that may happen. That may happen to you, right? You too. You probably have a very high chance of being in games versus Muppets that have no business playing this game. But that's not his achievement. So his team has taken the 1 line, no opposition. The enemy scout, has just died because he had no idea what he was doing. And now this TVP is no idea what he's doing either. And here's another player that has no idea what they're doing. I'm making myself laugh. This is ridiculous. Now, and there, you guys, the enemy team has completely deployed like in a ridiculous manner. They haven't taken the 1-2 line. It looks like the 9-0 line, their VK is a sentinel out there spotting. These guys have good map control, but they're losing 1-3. Because probably the tanks in the city have just not performed. The enemy has got into the city, and they're winning in the city. But anyways, so the team's losing, even though it seems like all of the enemies that we've viewed so far have no idea what they're doing. So what does that tell you about World of Tanks? Okay, so a couple of guys have moved up. 2 enemies. One of his teammates has no idea what he's doing. He went to fight 2 of them. He thought that was a good idea. He said, well, there's 2 enemies there. I think I'll go fight them. And he probably thought, well, there's 1 of me and 2 of them. Therefore, it's like tag team wrestling, right? Yeah, you guys ever watch the old days of tag team wrestling where 2 wrestlers versus 2 Haystack Calhoun and Flying Freddie Mercury versus the Sheik? And you got who else? And they're you know, 2 of them are fighting in there, and then the Flying Freddie Mercury gets a little bit tired, and he goes to his teammate is there, and they tag. And then Haystack Calhoun's turn to come. And Haystack Calhoun jumps on the big splash. Well, it would be like in tag team wrestling when the 2 enemy wrestlers are both in the rink and your guy is like been thrown out of the rink lying on the floor, and you decide, well, there's 2 of them in there. This would be a good time for me to go fight them. And one of them holds you down, and Haystack slams the body splash on you. And if any of you guys know what I'm talking about, let me know in the comment section. How many of you guys know? You guys remember Flying Freddie Mercury? Do you guys remember that? The Sheik? How many of you remember Haystack Calhoun? You guys have, if you've been watching the last couple of days, you know I have a little bit of a cough. I'm doing my best, guys. The show must go on. You can remember those days? Okay, what is going on in this battle? Look at the deployment on the minimap. Why do these people play this game? What is going on? So somehow they've lost the 1-2 line, and they lost the 8-9-0 line. They've lost everything. They've lost it all. They went to the 1-2 line unopposed, and then somehow the enemy showed up and they lost because his teammates, one by one, floundered into the open and gave away their tanks. Not sure why, but that's what they did. And that's not going to pen. That's not going to pen. He's got to try and get an angle here on the T-29. Oh, he's got an angle on this guy. But Wargaming says no because he's losing. But his teammate took him out. Alright, what does he do now? They're losing by about 3,000 HP. He's got to worry about the Achilles hiding in the cubbyhole. You see the Achilles at A4? Achilles! Oh, look. Look, guys. A British SPG. The only class of SPG that has to actually propel himself to get into range. Which puts him at risk, right? If you're playing one of those British SPGs, you do tend to have to put yourself in harm's way. Well, and Wargaming wants him to lose, so that shot just evaporated into the ether. And he got him with an HE shell. Good move here to switch, because the guy was on an angle. That T-29 was on an angle, and that regular shell would not have penned. HE shell did the trick. Into the tracks. Now, I'm wondering why the Achilles is not shooting him. Maybe the Achilles has relocated or is not in the bush. You see that A4? Because this guy drove into the open. It's possible that he has enough concealment that the Achilles didn't see him. But that's a little bit, I'm not sure why. Take it up the ass, but he missed because he's losing and Wargaming wants him to lose and miss. But now he aims carefully at the ass. And this guy who's been shot up the ass twice leaves his ass pointed at... Hey, shows his ass... Adjusts his tank just slightly so that his ass is more in line of fire. Oh, you've shot me in ass 3 times? Let me adjust my ass so that it's facing you more directly. I noticed that after you shot me up the ass twice, you missed one shot. Perhaps if I just adjust myself... Oh, you missed? Let me adjust myself so that my ass is more in line with your aiming. Which is always a good strategy. Now, I know I started this video, I said 99.9% of you will never achieve what you're about to witness. And we are witnessing a myriad of Muppets floundering around. I don't know what that Cromwell is doing. What is he doing? What's his strategy? I don't know that anyone really understands what his strategy was, but now he is by himself with... He's got a friend. If you got a friend... He's got a friend following him. The FV. Have you ever seen anything like this? This has never happened to me before. An SPG following him. Because that's what you want. The SPG does not want to be ready to shoot now. He just wants to follow him. That's good. Now go for the Achilles. Achilles! Now this seems like just a regular game, doesn't it? But, oh, look, guys. Look what it is. Oh, on the move. It's a tie game now, so he's got the better RNG. Boom! Oh, yes! And the Achilles is going to miss because now the Achilles low rolls. Because now he's at risk of losing. And the RNG has flipped. You're losing, you miss. Oh, it's tie game, no problem. On the move. And now he goes through the cap. Do not go through the cap. Oh, look at the little Bert. Oh, look at this. He's found him. And why wouldn't he missed, but Wargaming says yes. He missed, but Wargaming said, let's watch that shot again. I gotta see that shot. How did that shot hit? Come on. Here we go. Ooh, there goes Bert. How did he hit that shot? How is he hitting these shots? First they were missing. Okay, well, let's slow it down and see how he hit that shot. How? He just waved his gun in this direction. Let's see. It's obvious now that if you were an SPG on the enemy team, you would be floundering around, running around in the open. That's the perfect strategy. There goes the Lorraine. And does the shot... I guess it was a good shot, but he zoomed out. That's what confused me. Some of these players have a tendency to zoom out when they press the trigger. Like, what do they got? Their hand on the tab key? Like, they do it on the move, you know? Like that. Take him out. He can't do it now. And I'm at a loss. They're going to win by capping. No, there he goes. Okay, take him out. Oh, no! He can't. There you go. Gegnerfaster ausgescheißen. And you're probably wondering, well, what did he achieve? You know, what was so great about that? Well, did you guys not even... Didn't you notice? He got 12 kills. 12 freaking kills. He made credits, too. The guy got 12 kills. 99.99999% of you will never get 12 kills. Now, you guys might argue about how he achieved that result. Was it just luck? Was it skill? Was it because the enemy team was a collection of clueless idiots? Was it because his team was a myriad of Muppets? You can argue about that. And I will respectfully propose that the answer to that question is a little bit of everything. All of those ingredients, all of the above. That's the typical ingredient for one of those achievements that, you know, are so good that 99.99999% of you will never achieve it. Here goes. Here's a wheeled vehicle has gone to park. And he's been spotted. And he's been spotted, so the enemy team has countered them. Oh, he's taken a big hit. He can take more hits. A T-57. What? And an invisible object 277 and a T-100 LT. Let's stop it right there. The T-100 LT managed to get to this position right here. And he was able to counter the Mantic... I'm going to make the minimap bigger. The T-100 LT got to this position right here and was able to counter the Manticore and the EBR that were going to this bush. Now, the T-100 LT, if you look at the minimap there, is on this line of bushes. He must have got to that line of bushes. Because you can't see through that line of... There's two lines of bushes here. Maybe he did, and he was right in here somewhere, and he was able to counter them. Which was a brilliant move. And what that achieved, what is very important here, is that resulted in the death of the wheeled vehicle. And now watch. This proves what I just said. You see that? We're going to learn something here now. You see where the T-100 LT is now? He did not spot him now. And you see those two? He must have been in like one of these bush, like right around here. He was in this... Yeah, I guess there's little gaps in there. So he was in a good position in one of these bushes where he could see him. Now he's in the low ground and he didn't see it. So the Manticore gets back. Interesting. Side note. Side note, what's happening in the game. But the point is, in the previous game, it's a combination of everything. Yeah, that's what happens. If he had really good teammates, they would have won that game, and he would have no chance of getting 12 kills because some of his teammates might have got some. If the enemies were good, they would have just killed him. Especially when he was on that 1-2 line versus 4 or 5 of them. Now, he had to be a little bit lucky, and he had to know what he was doing. So, a combination of everything. And how can you achieve that combination? How come it never happens to me? Leave some comments. Let me know how many of you have had a game not in Tier 2, okay? Let's exclude Tier 2. How many of you have ever had a 12-kill game? And now you'll notice he was in the bush first, and he countered the T-100 LT, who decided to move up that bush line. So what happened was, in this game, the T-100 LT made a brilliant move that countered the 2 light tank, countered the Manticore and the EBR, got the EBR killed. And then he was detected, so he had to scoot away. But this Manticore quickly came back. The cat came back into this position, whereas the T100LT lingered too long out of position. Maybe he thought he'd poke the ridgeline or he'd do something else. He lingered too long out of position. He didn't get back in that bush line. If he would have got back in that bush line quickly, he would have countered the Manticore again. Maybe the Manticore would be dead now. But the T100LT maybe made a slight strategic mistake. You could look at it that way. Or the Manticore made a very brilliant, bold move to get back in the bush. Because he knows that the cat came back the very next day. The cat came back. They thought he was a goner, but the cat came back. He just couldn't stay away. Right? The cat came back. The Manticore came back. And now you're thinking, well, he came back, he only did 400 spotting. Why are we watching this game? Where is my beautiful wife? Ah. Right? Well, patience, jackass. All right, just calm down. This guy's going to achieve something that the 99.99999 of you will never achieve. If you just stay calm, you might understand. Oh, look what happened, guys. Look, there's some tanks right at the edge of his white circle that decided to use their W key. Look. And now the object 277 is outside his white circle, but remains visible for 10 seconds plus a little bit more. Because this guy has the crew skill of designated target, which gives you the ability to keep the enemies lit a little bit longer. So he's just in the bush. He's pushing in the bush. Now look what he has behind him, though. He's got 3 FV405s. The shit barns. Like, if he spots someone and those 3 shit barns shoot. Can you say that fast? If the 3 shit barns shoot? That... It's gonna hurt. It's just... When's the planes gonna come over and change the map? You know, the does that happen at the whatever mark? I keep seeing the artillery tracers. He's pointing where he thinks the artillery is. And now if you look at the map, the T100LT is still alive. The enemy T100LT is still alive. And one of his impatient teammates is typing in chat, Manti, spot! Manti, spot! Says the heavy tank. Spot, Manti! Well, look, guys. The Manti spotted. He spotted an STRV. There it is. Oh, it's disappeared. Manti spot. The shit barn hit the STRV for 1,732. If I die, we lose, says the Manti, which is correct. And now look, his patience paid off. Manti, stop your sleep and move, says 60 TP. So it's obviously that the 60 TP on this team has no idea. This is like the myriad of Muppets. The 60 TP on his team, I'm going to pause it right there. The 60 TP on his team is berating him in chat. Manti, spot, you are asleep, blah, blah. And while he's berating him, this Manticore got the STRV, the stealthiest tank on the enemy team, killed because that STRV moved a little bit. And then the most important kill of the game, the T100LT on the enemy team. There's probably people on the enemy team that are saying, T100 LT, spot. You're sleeping. What are you doing? Move up, spot, right? So he moved. He moved. The Manticore sitting still. The Manticore spotted the T100 LT, and now the T100 LT is dead. He's dead because he listened to the morons on his team. The moron. Manti, spot. Move, you're sleeping. I'm a moron. I'm bored because the game's lasted 8 minutes. My daddy's credit card is going to expire and I want to buy a premium. Whatever, right? So let's pick it up there. So now the Manticore, smartly, so a little bit of skill, the ingredients, right? Some skill. He realized, I can't move until the T100 LT is taken out. Now I have the best concealment, the best vision. I can spot everyone now because there's no one left to counter me. They will not counter me anymore because the enemy doesn't have a light tank. So skill, morons on his team, 60 TP. Clueless Muppets on the enemy team. STRV moving forward. T100 LT probably being berated in the chat by his teammates. Go spot! Spot for us! We need you to spot! Look, now he's spotting people through the bushes because he's got Commander's vision system. This guy knows how his tank works. He didn't listen to the morons on his team, or the moron, just one moron. The poor T100 LT, who probably had a pretty good game, was probably being pressured by his team, and you know, he succumbed to the pressure and said, okay, I'll spot for you. And he moved. And he died. And now the people that said to him, go spot, one of these guys was berating the T100 LT. They're all gonna die. I'd love to see the chat from the enemy team. I'd love to see, because I guarantee you, there was someone on the enemy team that was saying, T100 LT, go spot. What's wrong with you? Guaranteed. I'd like to know who it was. It's one of these guys, probably. Probably the STB one sitting at the back. Or the Udez. Maybe it's this guy. So he will achieve something you have never achieved. And will never achieve. 99.999999 of you % will never achieve this. Ever. What is the achievement that we speak of? Patrol duty? No, some of you will get patrol duty. But I guarantee that almost all of you will never get 19,503 spotting assists. Not even fire one shot in the game and make 100,000 credits. A little bit of skill. He knew what he was doing. A little bit of luck at the beginning of the game. The enemy's focused on the EBR and not him. Myriad of Muppets on the enemy team that had no clue what to do. Muppets on his team. Well, in this particular game, there'll be only one Muppet on his team. Let's highlight the Muppet. Where is he? It's Bass Geeker in the 60 TP. Bass Geeker, if you're watching this video, rewatch the game. Right? And then realize, look at the messages that you were typing into the game and realize that you, in your position, had no idea what that Manticore was doing. You have no idea what light tanks do. And after watching this game, maybe you'll have a little bit more respect for what the light tank is actually thinking while he plays. And you're impatient, and you're berating him in the game. Did nothing to help win this game. So be a little bit more patient and appreciate the outstanding achievement that this little Manticore had. This is one of the best games ever played in a Manticore, and you were berating him in the game. So what does that tell you? Leave some comments, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you guys on the next one.